First of all, a very, very good morning to you. It is the 31st of December, New Year's Eve. Purpose of this week was to try and keep all of you training, keep all of you moving, allowing these classes open to the public for this week, to make sure you have some level of accountability and you haven't just lost this week. So, the last of this week's sessions are going to go as follows. Listen closely. Exercise number 1 will be a squat of any description, and we are supersetting that with a pull-up, pull down, or row of any description. So we are doing a squat to a pull movement for 3 sets in a superset. Okay? That will be a minute-long set. We're extending the sets again by another 10 seconds today. So it's going to be a minute-long set. Then the next group of exercises is going to be a deadlift or hip thrust into a vertical press movement, an overhead press. The next pairing is going to be a rear foot elevated split squat, like so, into a push-up or bench press, and then we hit abs and cardio. So, squat and row, deadlift or hip thrust into press, rear foot elevated split squat into push-up, and then abs and cardio. This has been full body this week. We've trained every single muscle every single day, just to make sure you're all moving well. Now, for anyone who needs some extra instruction, the squat, what we want to do, you can put a barbell on your back, you can put a dumbbell in front of you in a goblet position, like this. You can hold 2 dumbbells in your shoulders like this if you're a little bit stronger. Your foot position, you want about shoulder width apart or wider. You want your toes turned out. You want to be lowering yourself down, pushing the knees apart all of the time, and making sure we get the hips down below the line of the knee, okay? That's our squat. Then our row, you can do any type of row you want. You can do a bent over row with 2 dumbbells or 2 kettlebells. You can do a single arm row with 1 dumbbell or kettlebell. If you have a barbell, of course, you can do a barbell row, like so. If you have more equipment, like a lat pull down, a seated row, a cable row, you can use that as well if you're in the gym. Use what you have around you. Then when we move on to our next exercise, which is going to be a deadlift or hip thrust. So, our deadlift or hip thrust, if we're going for a conventional deadlift, our feet are shoulder width apart. The bar is over the middle of the foot, hands outside the knees. We pull ourselves down towards the bar, push our shoulder blades into our back pocket, so we're pushing them back and down, and then push the floor away from you with your feet. You can do exactly the same thing with the cues, but in a sumo position, for those of you who prefer that. Toes turn right out, sit down into the movement, push the shoulder blades into the back pockets, and then stand with the bar for a sumo. Now, if you don't have a barbell and you can't do a deadlift, you can either do a wide stance goblet squat, so feet out nice and wide, knees pushed out, and then the weight in hands, or alternatively, you can do a hip thrust, shoulders on the bench, weight on your hips, and then power back up. Obviously, you can put your back on whatever you have available to you, your sofa, table, just make sure it's not a glass one. And then we're supersetting that with an overhead press. So that can be with 2 dumbbells. It can be with 1 dumbbell. It can be with a barbell, like the one behind me. Whatever you have to press overhead, press overhead. Lorena the other day was doing it with 2 5-litre bottles of water. Nice and resourceful. Then once we've done that, we go into a rear foot elevated split squat, back foot up on the bench. Dumbbells in your hands, or weight in front of you here, or barbell on back, all the way down, all the way up. Notice how my back leg is bending, and I'm getting full range of motion. We're supersetting that then in with a push-up. If you can do them full, do them full. If you can't do them full, you can do them with your hands on an elevated platform. And if you can't do them, you can do them on the floor on your knees. Once we've done that, we're going to go into our last set, which is abs and cardio for a minute. So as I say, all of these are 3 rounds, 3 sets, 1 minute per exercise. Any questions on that before we start the warm-up, or is everyone pretty confident that they know what they're doing? Sweet. All right, so for those of you who aren't already warming up with me, feet shoulder width apart. All the way down, touch your toes. Then once you're there, walk out forwards on your hands, push up on the floor, and then walk yourself all the way back up to the top. You're going to do that for 5 reps, being nice and careful with your wrists, hands and fingers as you do. Stretch out the hamstrings as you're lowering yourself down. So as you're going towards the floor, allow those hamstrings to stretch properly. Beautiful. So 5 reps. Then, once you've done your 5th rep, we're going to go all the way down to the bottom of that movement. Let the hips fall to the floor and lift the chest up. Take a big deep breath in, stretch out the abs and hips on the front of the body, and then exhale. Push your body back, let the shoulders wiggle a little bit, let them move around. Then inhale forwards, stretch the abs again, and then exhale backwards, push the bum back. 5 reps exactly like that, making sure you open up the hips a little bit, get everything there moving. Inhale forwards, exhale backwards. Then once you've done that one, you're going to come down onto the floor, lie face down, that's chest to the floor, face down with your arms out at 90 degrees from your body. So we're lying down like so. We're going to take one leg, lift it all the way up, and tap it on the other side of your body as far as you can. That's going to stretch out your arm, chest, and shoulder. Then go to the other side, really push it over, nice and far. So you can feel your shoulder stretching as you go. You should feel your chest open up a little bit as you go. Let that shoulder loosen off. Big, big twists. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so once you've done that one, 5 on each side, you're going to come onto your hands and knees, all 4s. Take your right arm, thread it beneath your body and lay the shoulder into the ground. Push it down so you feel a stretch across the back and the torso. And then rotate all the way up, palm face up towards the sky. Back underneath, lay the shoulder down. You're going to repeat that 5 reps each side. Big twist up and over, and then send it under. Big twist up and over, and send it under. Good. 5 reps on each arm with that. And really, because with these deadlifts and squats, we're going to be using a lot of the muscles of the torso. Really do twist it round. Try to get those obliques working, get the lats stretch, get the obliques fired up. And then once you've done your 5 there, you're going to come up onto your feet. Feet shoulder width apart. You're going to soften your knees just a little bit. Just soften them slightly. Push the bum back so you're in a bent over row position. Body's nice and flat. Then with your arms parallel, you're going to push them up towards the top of the room in front of you, pushing the shoulder blades down into the center of the back for 5 reps. Get those lower traps working to give you better posture and safe shoulder position on these lifts. And then finally, once you've done that one, drop down onto one knee, like you're going to propose to somebody. Take a big deep breath in, stretch out that front leg, so you feel a stretch in a hamstring, and then exhale forwards, push the hip forwards towards the front of the room, inhale back, stretch, 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 exhale forwards, like so. 5 reps on each side there. For those of you who are more comfortable with a wider squat or a wider deadlift, a sumo, push that front knee out as well. So while you're doing that, keep your ears open. I'm going to remind you of the exercise ordering. Exercise order number 1 is a squat and a row. Squat and a row. So you do any type of squat. If you're at the gym, you can use a machine squat like a pendulum or a hack if you wish. And the row, you can do any type of pulling movement. Then our next pairing is a deadlift or hip thrust, dependent on the equipment you have, into an overhead press. Then we go for a rear foot elevated split squat. That's the one you all hate, into a push-up or bench press, any type of horizontal or angled horizontal press movement, and then into abs and cardio. So that's everything set up. You should all be warmed up. I'm going to give you a minute now to set up your bars if you haven't already. Getting ready for your squat. Now remember, if we're in a goblet position, the weight up in front of us, we want to try to hold the weight in front of our chin, not down in front of our chest, because it'll put us in bad posture. If you're squatting with a barbell on your back, make sure you're trying to bend that bar over your shoulders, put lots of tension in the upper back, keep the shoulders pinned in. If you're doing a front squat, remember to keep the elbows pushed up nice and high. The important thing for every single one of you, You must get full range of motion. I don't want to see anybody squatting half like this. That is not a squat. You need to be getting all the way down, all the way up, so your hips pass the line of your knees. If you struggle to do that without falling forwards, then place your heels on something. You can put something under your heels, maybe a phone book, yellow pages, a couple of magazines, something like that. That will allow you to get down deeper. If you're in a gym or you have extra plates, you can put a couple of plates under your feet. Right, we've got about 20 seconds before I'm going to ask you to go, so get yourselves ready. Remember, these are minute-long sets, so it's going to burn like mad. For those of you who are extremely strong, extremely good in the gym, don't lock out your legs. Try to create as much tension, as much pain in these quads as we possibly can. You're going to get out what you put in. Into position, bars in on the back, weight in hand, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, off you go. So we're squatting now. Now I want you about 2 seconds down, 1 second up. And it's important throughout that movement, we'll start from the ground up, that your toes are pointed out a little bit. That's going to take the stress off the knees. You want to be pushing your knees apart. Push your knees towards the side of the room, almost creating a gap for you to squat down into. In doing so, you're going to help to improve your hip function and mobility and overall strength. The glutes are very, very strong. You need to get them active on your squats. You need to be keeping your chest up. So imagine you're trying to lift your sternum towards the ceiling more than you think you need to. That's going to help to keep the spinal muscles engaged. And as you start to train heavier and heavier and heavier, you're in good habits. There's good communication to those muscles, and they maintain good tension. You've got 10 seconds, keeping that chest up and elbows high, Faye. Making sure you've got good posture on those front squats, and depth, depth, depth. In 2, 1, stop there, nice and easy. Right, so remember, have a think about that set, assess yourself. Were you getting good enough depth? That's super important, it's the thing most of you will get wrong. Now you're into a row position. You're gonna do 45 seconds on this, row position. So this can be a pull-up if you're strong enough to do pull-ups. It can be a pull-down, bent over row, single arm row in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Now, depending on the type of row you're doing, if you're doing a bent over row or a single arm row, make sure you're trying to pull that weight towards your waist and your hips. You're not trying to pull it towards your chest or armpits. If you're doing a single arm row, I will tell you when to switch sides, so listen out. And be aggressive on that pull up. When you're pulling it away from the floor, good adjustment, Rosalind. When you're pulling it away from the floor, rip it, be aggressive. Switch sides if you're going on a single arm now. Turn it round. Making sure your torso angle is nice and deep, Heather. There you go, good, nice. So we're not turning it into a shrug. Beautiful. In 3, 2, 1, stop there, relax. Right, I'm gonna give you about 45 seconds to a minute now. Now it's important that you're trying to push yourself. So if you found that that little round was a bit too easy, it wasn't challenging, if it felt like a warm-up, then increase your weight, push yourself. This is the last session of the week. You get 2 full days recovery, or you would if you were doing the standard live-up plan. So I want you to push yourself, find a progression, choose to make life hard for yourself. That's how you adapt, that's how you're gonna get better at these things. So adjust weights on your squats. Now again, assess your form. Progress in the gym is not just about adding more weight. It's about getting technically better at everything you do. Technically better at your squats, improving your mobility, becoming more coordinated. I want everything you do to look textbook, so you have to want to do that. Right, we've got about 15 seconds before I'm going to ask you to go again. Now again, for those of you more advanced or using lighter weights, do not lock out on these squats. Come 3/4 of the way up, flex your quads, and then drop back in. In 3, 2, 1, off you go. Dropping down, all the way up, pushing those feet and knees out. You're trying to push them out towards the side of the room. That's going to help you to engage your quads and your hips. Keep your chest nice and high. Again, think, I want to get better at squats. I want to learn how to squat deeper. So even though it's harder, even though it's starting to get a little bit painful, you need to work on getting that form. Push the knees out away from the center line of the body. That's going to create a gap for you to squat into. Remember to try and lift that sternum up as much as possible all of the time. Don't allow your body to start collapsing forwards. Nice. Big, big chest. You've got 20 seconds left. Come on, decide to make this hard. You've only got 1 more set of these after this, so put the effort into getting these squats as hard as you can. Build the tension. Inhale as you go down, exhale as you come up. Unless you're squatting super heavy, which you probably won't be for a minute long set, you get that breathing in line like that. And stop there, relax, relax, relax. Awesome. Very, very good. Right, bars down nice and safe. Then move into your row or your pull-up. So now we are into our row position. Bent over row in 3, 2, 1. Off you go. Now, be aggressive on that row. Be aggressive, rip it towards you. And then once it's there, pin your shoulder blades together, squeeze them just for a second, and then release. That's it, awesome. So we're always generating tension at the back. So we pull it back, squeeze, flex, 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 and release. Pull it back, squeeze, flex, 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 and release. You're telling the back it needs to learn how to get stronger. Making sure our torso angle is nice and deep. We're not standing upright. Change sides if you're doing a single arm. We're not standing bolt upright on those rows because otherwise you're just going to end up building up your traps and upper back. We miss the lats, which is where the majority of the strength is going to come from. It's where most of the metabolic activity are going to come from because they're huge muscles. Almost there. Good, good, good. And relax there. Nice. Awesome. Really good. Saskia, you've got amazing control over your movements. Just make sure at the end of it you don't start to creep upwards. You're starting to stand up a bit as you get tired, so try to make sure you drop in. All right, got 45 seconds now, folks. Now, listen close. If you can put on more weight for this last set. I want everybody, bear in mind, for those of you who are lifting heavy, Helen, for example, I know you're lifting pretty heavy there. We're going to do a quarter rep at the bottom for everybody here. Quarter rep at the bottom. So you come down, small, little pump, and back up. Now, it's important to remember that is a little push. It is not a bounce. You don't drop and go bounce. It's a little push under control, back down and back up. I want everybody to do this, okay? So adjust your weights accordingly to make that happen. You've got 20 seconds. And what this is doing is it's creating more tension at the end range when the muscle's in its stretch position. Okay, into position. Weight in hands or bars on backs, be safe. So like I say, those of you going super heavy like Helen, just go steady on this in 3, 2, 1, off you go. So we come down, pushing the knees out. It's a small movement, maybe 2 or 3 inches at the bottom, and then back up. And it's important to understand we are not bouncing, we're pushing. Create tension. Now, for those of you who are training at home, little tricks like these, if you've only got a certain amount of weight and you're using everything you've got, little tricks like these can really help to improve the intensity of your training and to help make you strong, because where we are at the bottom, we're in a pretty weak position there, but we're forcing ourselves to go through a slightly more difficult end range. Keep that chest up, keep those knees out, build the tension. Come on, I know you're getting a bit tired now, but keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Almost there. You've got just less than 15 seconds left of this set. Last on the squats, make it count. Take a big deep breath of air in to make sure your body is reinforced. Good, remember it's a little push. One more rep from everyone, one more rep from everyone. Get that depth, keep the knees pushed out. Up, 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 awesome, well done, relax. Nice. Beautiful, all right. That was a good strong set, good solid set. Everyone's form was tight there, I like it a lot. So into your row position now, big row position. Keep this one standard, make sure you're squeezing it and make sure you keep your torso in the right position in 3, 2, 1, off you go. Big stretch, big stretch, big stretch. Awesome. Open that up, push it away from you, then rip it back. Remember what we're trying to do is bring the weight towards the waist all of the time. Bringing the weight towards the waist. We don't want to be pulling it up towards the armpits. Stretch it out and rip it back. Remember, as you get fatigued, and I know you are all tired after doing this combo, switch sides now for anyone who hasn't. When you're doing this combo, your back is going to get slightly pumped, but really focus on keeping good, strong, solid position and keeping that torso angle deep. Stretch, 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 and rip it back. Stretch, 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 and rip it back. Good, almost there. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax, relax, relax. Stop there. Cool. All right, we have 2 minutes now as we transition through the exercise. So get yourself a quick drink of water and then keep your ears open while I explain, but make sure you're setting up your bar while I'm talking, not after I talk. So now we're moving into a deadlift. If you can do a deadlift, or hip thrust. Now again, remember, our deadlift positions, we have two options. Option number one is a conventional deadlift. Conventional is with the feet shoulder width apart, hands outside the knees. In that position, we have the bar sitting over the middle of the foot, right above the midfoot. We pull ourselves down into the bar, like so. We put the shoulder blades in the back pocket. So imagine digging your shoulder blades into your back pockets. We push the knees out against the hands, and then we push the floor away from us with our legs, okay? So, hands on the bar, bum down, shoulders into back pockets, push the knees out and stand. Now the same essentially is true with the sumo deadlift, but we go a lot wider with the feet. The hands go inside the knees, point the toes out, everything else remains the same. Pull yourself into the bar, shoulder blades into the back pocket, push the floor away from you with your body, okay? For anyone who's wondering the difference, generally the sumo is a little bit more quad focused and a lot less back focused. Conventional is more aggressive on the lower back. So if you want to get a much, much stronger lower back, then conventional is possibly the better option. If you want to just get a bit stronger in hips, sumo maybe. We're then supersetting that in with an overhead press, straight up and down. We can do that with a single arm, two arms, barbell, dumbbell, or a machine in the gym, your choice. We have about 25 seconds before I'm going to ask you to go with your deadlift. Now remember, if you can't do the deadlift, you can do your hip thrust, shoulders on a bench, weight on your hips. Just make sure you're getting the most out of it. That primary movement, the deadlift or hip thrust, we're doing for 1 minute, so really, really push yourself. Into position, bars ready or on your hips. Remembering on the hip thrust, weight in the heels, knees pushed out, rotate the pelvis and squeeze like mad. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, off you go. So I'm going to cue the deadlift first because it's the more technical. You pull your butt down towards the floor with your back nice and straight. You push your shoulder blades into your back pockets. You push your knees out, and then you push the floor away from you with your feet. Now it's important on the big movements to get your breathing right. So rather than tapping the floor and coming back up, you want to reset at the bottom of these reps. So you get to the ground and then take a new breath, reposition yourself, power yourself back out. Now on the hip thrust, make sure the weight is in the heels. You don't want to be pushing into the ball of the foot. Trying to push your knees out towards the sides of the room, and you're squeezing your glutes and trying to rotate the pelvis, trying to get the bottom of the pelvis to tip upwards. Okay, so you should see wrinkles appear in your t-shirt. Power up, flex, and then back down. It's important on the hip thrust. Common mistake is not locking out, so make sure you can get full lockout on that movement. Deadlift, knees out, chest up in 3, 2, 1. Relax. Stop there. Now moving into our overhead press. Overhead press. Single arm, double arm, kettlebell, barbell, machine. I do not mind, but let's get a real good effort on it. In 3, 2, 1. Off you go. Overhead. Now, it's important, number one, that we're working full range of motion. Coming all the way down to around chin height and then sending it back up. When you extend the arm, make sure the bicep ends up next to the ear. We don't want the arm out in front. It's important. Bicep next to the ear. Your tempo, you should be coming down twice as slow as you go up. It's an aggressive movement, the overhead press. We want to watch the shoulders, so we need to keep it under control. Anyone who's doing a single arm, switch sides now. It's important if you're doing a standing movement as well, that you keep your glutes squeezed super tight. You want to flex your glutes because that's going to prevent you from arching your back and causing too much strain. Good, 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 good. Almost there. In 3, 2, 1. Relax there. Good. Okay, so got about 45 seconds now. Adjust your weights. That looked really, really, really easy for probably too many of you. So adjust your weights. Remember, we are trying to push ourselves. It's the last session of the week for some of you. For those of you who are doing LiveUP, we don't have you train on Saturdays. So push it hard. For those of you in the general public, if you have done this week and you can train tomorrow, then you haven't trained hard enough in these classes. Quite simply. All right, got about 15 seconds before I'm going to ask you to go again. So deadlift, remember, bar over midfoot, pull the butt down, shoulders into back pockets, push the floor away from you. Really focus on that shoulders into back pockets thing. That's going to fix a lot of problems. On the sumo deadlift, exactly the same cueing, the difference being your feet are much wider, toes turned out. On the hip thrust, kick through the heels, flex the glutes. In 3, 2, 1, off you go. Let's move, solid set. Make sure it's heavy, make sure it's hard, make sure you're fully squeezing. I'm going to cue the hip thrust first now. Weight in the heels on those hip thrusts. If you find that you're putting too much weight in the ball of the foot and you can't figure out why even when you try, it could be that your feet are too far backwards. They're too close to your body. Shuffle them out a little bit further forwards until you can keep the weight in the heel. Now, if the opposite is true, if you're feeling everything in your quads and nothing in your glutes, it could be that your foot is too far forwards. Oh, sorry. If you're feeling everything in your hamstrings and not in your glutes, it could be that your foot is too far forwards, in which case bring it back a little bit. On the deadlifts, remember to push those knees out all of the time as you're going through that lift. It's going to help to engage the hips a little bit better and make sure the firing pattern throughout the movement is correct. Almost there, 10 seconds. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale, take a breath before you perform that major lift. Push the floor away from you with your feet in 3, 2, 1. Stop there. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Very nice. All right, take some time now. We're going to move into our overhead press. Remembering on the overhead press, squeeze your glutes as tight as you can if you're doing the standing movement, because that's going to prevent your hip flexors from taking too much strain on the back. In 3, 2, 1, off you go. Overhead press. Now remember, power it up and then twice as slow down as the speed you sent it up, making sure the biceps end up right next to the ear. We don't want to be pushing forwards of the line of the body. That does happen to a lot of people, especially if you work in an office or you spend a lot of your time sitting down. You have quite short lats and tight shoulders. This does tend to manifest itself in a push forwards on an overhead press. Good, there's the halfway point. For anyone doing single arms, you can switch sides now. Quick transition, making sure you're super, super tight in the abs as well on those single arm movements. Let's go, keep moving, strong set. Come on, Maddie, come on, Maddie. Fight every single rep, get through the whole set. Send it up and then slowly down. Good, almost there, less than 10 seconds. Let's go. Push, push, push. Good, almost done. And relax there. Stop, stop, stop. Very nice. Beautiful. All right, take some time. 45 seconds before we go into the last set. Now, we're not going to do anything crazy or silly on these deadlifts. It's not a movement to play around with. So if you can go a little bit heavier on your deadlift or your hip thrust, please do it on this set. Push yourself. Make sure you are recording your weights where you can as well, so you always know where your progression starts from. Want a really good, strong set. Challenge yourself. Choose to make this hard for yourself. Now, for those of you training at home, obviously, progression is much, much harder. A lot of the progression is come from your sheer will and determination to make everything harder for yourself. So put the effort into that. This is why these classes originally started. We started them in LiveUP because of lockdown and making sure all of the guys could continue training. And obviously they just picked up a little bit of momentum and a lot of people find them useful. So now some people use them in a gym, other people use them at home. So the idea, push yourself wherever you are. Right, into position. Last set of deadlifts or hip thrusts. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off you go. Let's move. Knees out, chest up. Beautiful. All the way down on those deadlifts, keeping the chest high, letting the butt sit in. Then reset yourself, shoulders into your back pockets, push the knees out against the arms or away from the arms, and then push the floor away from you. On the hip thrusts, all of the weight in the heels, explosively contracting the glutes. Bang! Flexing them as hard as you can, almost like you're trying to throw the bar or the dumbbells or whatever weight you have on you up towards the ceiling. And then you gently bring it back down to full range, full stretch. Again, pushing your knees out, weight in the heels. We've got 20 seconds left. Make sure we've got good quality reps. The first one looks like the last one. For those of you who are going really, really heavy, there may be a slight change in form, but really focus on talking yourself through those cues, and you'll find that the form stays pretty close to where you need it. In 3, 2, 1, stop there. Nice. Okay, beautiful. All right, get yourselves into position for your overhead press. General rule, if you're going single arm, try and start with a weak arm first. In 3, 2, 1, off you go. Overhead press. Now again, hopefully some of you increase the weight here just to really push it on this last set. If you're standing, make sure your glutes are super, super tight. prevent you from arching the back. Make sure those biceps are ending right next to the ear, not out in front of your head or near your cheek or near your chin. Beautiful. Tummy button pulled in for everybody, whether you're seated or standing. Try to be explosive on the way up and super steady on the way down. It's a halfway mark for anyone who's going overhead with a single arm. Everyone else fight it. For those of you who are on your feet, you can use your knees just a little bit. Good, Saskia, come on, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, straight up, that's it. Nice and smooth down, bicep next to your ear. Come on, Maddie, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, big push. Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax there, awesome, very, very good. All right. Okay, take a little bit of time now. Have a rest. This is where the really fun stuff starts. Everybody listen closely, make sure we've got this one perfect. We are doing our rear foot elevated split squat, so you're going to need a platform behind you, knee height or just below. Place that back foot up on it. You're going to lower yourself down all the way to the floor. It's important you get full range of motion on this. We allow the back leg to bend all the way down like so. You see how now my foot is next to my bum? It's really, really close. And then back up to there, all the way down. Back up to the top, yeah? Dumbbells, hold by your side or in a goblet position in front of you. Kettlebells, the same. If you only have one, for example, a kettlebell, hold it on the same side as the front leg if you're fairly new to this. Hold it on the opposite side to the front leg if you're quite advanced, okay? So rear foot elevated split squat, you're gonna start with your weak leg first. Then we're supersetting that in with a push-up, like so. If you can't do them on your feet, then do them with your hands elevated. If you can't do them with your hands elevated, do them on your knees and hands. Okay, so that is rear foot elevated split squat to push up. We have got literally no time until you start, so get yourselves into position. It's your 2 minutes gone nice and fast. Rear foot elevated split squat. Back foot up, remember, full range of motion. Want to get that depth in, want to be great at this movement because it has a huge carryover to other movements. In 3, 2, 1, off you go. Now we are only doing 45 seconds of this movement because we're doing single leg at a time. Now focus in your brain. Not only should you be trying to lift a lot of weight, but you should be trying to get great at this movement. You should be trying to get much, much better depth. Try and keep your chest up. And imagine you're almost creating a C shape, reverse C shape from your knee to your shoulder. We're trying to keep that hip opened up. It's going to help improve your hip function, make you better at squatting, make you better at damn near everything. It's an unbelievable movement, this one. It's horrible, it hurts, but it's probably the best leg exercise you'll ever do. Good, 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 good. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop there. If you need to rest your grip for 5 seconds, do so, and then we're going to put the other leg up. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, off you go. All the way down, dropping that back knee to the floor. Let the back leg bend, remember. That's a common mistake as well. You don't want to be putting loads of weight on the back leg. You'll find if the back knee is hurting or you're feeling excessive tension, it's because you're putting that all the weight on that back leg. We want the weight on the front leg. Kick hard through the heel and toe. You want even pressure through that front foot, powering yourself up to the top. Lower down, stretch, improve your mobility, and then kick away, improving your strength. All singing, all dancing movement. Let's go. Full stretch down, then power out. Full stretch down, then power out. We're coming in for a form check. Nice and smooth. Good. Lyndon, you're throwing all of your weight onto that back leg at the bottom. Don't. Keep the weight on the front leg. So go down. Now power up. There. Perfect. Down. Power up. Almost done. And relax. Stop there. Stop there. Stop there. Good. Keep the weight on the front leg. We don't want to be kicking backwards. Right. Now into your push-up. Say do them on your feet and hands if you can. Feet with hands on an elevated platform if that's too hard, or knees and hands if necessary. So into your push-up position or bench press if you're in a gym in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All the way down. Power back up. All the way down. Power back up. Getting full range of motion. Chest skims the floor. Now what we want to try to make sure is that the chest is hitting the floor first. The quads are not hitting the floor, the tummy is not hitting the floor. We've got our quads locked out, we've got our tummy button pulled in nice and tight. Elbows travel at 45 degrees from the body. Pow. Rep after rep. Good. Perfect form, Helen. Really nice. Textbook. Good, good, good. Smooth down. Power back out. Almost there. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop there. Good. Okay, now you have a few seconds break. We've got 45 seconds to a minute. Now everybody listen close. This adjustment applies to absolutely everybody. Everybody. You are going to do a quarter rep at the bottom of each lunge now. So you drop down, small pump, and then back up. Now remember, it's a small push. It is not a bounce. Okay, everyone on screen is doing that. Do not take that as an excuse to now lift more weight or less weight. Keep the same weight. I know some of you are taking it easy on yourself there, but you're going to add a quarter rep at the bottom of every single movement. Remember, if you're fairly beginner and you've only got one weight or one dumbbell, put it in the side of the working leg. If you're more advanced, put it in the opposite side. Right, get yourselves into position. 1 1/4 rep from everyone, including you folks not on camera. Don't take it easy on yourself. In 3, 2, 1, off you go. So dropping down, quarter rep at the bottom. And remember, it's a push, not a bounce. Small bit of tension, Lyndon, perfect. Really nice now, awesome. Lower yourself down, little push. Good, nice. Beautiful, build up that tension and then kick it back out. Try not to lean forwards towards that front knee. Really, really important that we keep the chest up nice and high. Get range of motion, range of motion. Picky in, it looks like you can probably get a lot deeper. It looks like you should be moving a bit deeper on that. Get your range of motion. That's more important than the weight lifted. In 3, 2, 1, stop there. Relax, rest your grip if needs be. Range of motion and full, proper form will always trump the amount of weight lifted. Once you can perfect your form, then you can start adding weight. Right, onto the other leg. Same thing. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, off you go. Let's move. All the way down, small pump, and back up. Again, if your back knee is not touching the floor, you are not going deep enough. So do whatever it takes, lose the weight, but get that range of motion. Obviously, live uppers, not a single one of you should be doing this without a substantial amount of weight in your hands. Maddie, just try and push those shoulders back just a tad. Come on, Faye, let's go. All the way down, small pump, and then power back up. I know it's going to be burning now, but push yourself. Remember, it's Friday, it's New Year's Eve. Earn the excesses of today and tomorrow, which will no doubt be coming. Just less than 10 seconds left. Fight it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Almost there. In 3, 2, 1. Stop, 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 stop. Awesome. All right, have a quick drink. I know that one will have burned. And then we're going to go into our push-up. Full range of motion. Chest skims the floor before the quads and stomach hit the floor. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Our push-up or bench press. Now remember, of course, if you're in a gym, you can do a machine bench press. You can do any kind of horizontal pushing movement. Generally, on these live classes with LiveUP, is we program as though you're training at home and you have a limited number of exercises you can do. That's how we program it. But if you're in a gym, you have a huge amount of variation of machines, angles, different things you can do. So use them. All the way down, power back out. Remembering, pull your tummy button in tight. Don't allow your hips to drop. Don't allow your belly to drop. Keep everything in a nice steady line where it's supposed to be. A complete unbroken straight line between your heels and your shoulders, ideally. If you're on your knees, the same applies, knees to shoulders. Almost there. Come on, come on, a little bit more. A little bit more. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop there, relax. All right, very good. Okay, I'm gonna give you a slightly extended rest now. Most of you know what that means. On this last set, you're gonna do exactly the same as you did on the previous one. All the way down. Little pump, all the way back up. Then, when I call it, when I tell you, you drop your weights and you pump out as many reps as you can in 20 seconds. Straight up and down, bam, 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 bam. So we have 1 1/4 reps on the primary set, and then we have a rep out, many as you can in 20 seconds. Now, what I ask, because it tends to be what most people do, don't bugger about when you put the weights down. Just drop them at the bottom of the rep and go. Don't, oh, okay, yes, I'm putting my weights down. Just give me a moment, just 1 second. Yep, no, I'm nearly ready, which is what most of you do. So, weights down, go, intensity. We're gonna do the weak leg first, then we're gonna do the push-up, then we're gonna do the other leg, okay? So it gives your legs a bit of time to rest. Right, get yourselves into position. This is it, big set. It's the last on your legs. Make it count. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, off you go. Let's move. Big stretch down, power back up. Big stretch down, 1/4 rep at the bottom, little push, not a bounce, and then kick it back out. Down, kick it back out. Be aggressive as you send that movement back up to the top. You're making sure we've got perfect control. We're building masses of tension throughout these movements. Come on, Lyndon, come on, Lyndon, come on, Lyndon. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Don't stop. Dig in. Every rep. In 10 seconds, I'm going to ask you to drop those weights, so get yourself prepped mentally. Let's go, Saskia. All the way down. I know it's burning. Fight for it, though. Almost there, Lyndon. Right, drop your weights, drop your weights, drop your weights, and pump out. Go. Remember, no faffing. Go, rep, 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 rep. Push yourself as hard as you possibly can. Keep the weight over that front leg. Let's go. Pick yin. You're just standing up. Get to the bottom of that rep. Go down, 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 down. Now up. We're not just standing up. Come on. In 3, 2, 1. Relax there. Take a rest. Good. So, as I was saying, range of motion. Range of motion. At no point, ever, do you compromise your range of motion. Full reps or no reps. Simple. Right. Quick drink, and in for your push-ups. Now, for the more advanced among you here, I want you to go as quickly as possible. I want as many reps as you can get in this 45-second set. So move quicker. If you're confident that you have healthy shoulders and you have good form, I want you to go aggressive on this set, please. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off you go. All the way down. Power back out. Give it a kick. Little bit of speed. Keeping the tummy button pulled in nice and tight. Body in an arrow straight line. Quads locked tight. Put tension through the front side of your body, every inch of it. Speed, speed, speed for the more advanced among you. Now remember, if you hit complete failure, and I mean complete failure, you can't push anymore while you're on your feet, then you can drop to your knees. Keep going. If you're on your knees and you hit failure, then just come up however you need to, and then slowly lower yourself down, super, super steady, doing negative reps. Come on, almost there. I've got about 15 seconds. As many reps as you can. Push it. Aggressive, aggressive, aggressive. Want to be strong. Use adrenaline to push you through the end of this workout. Good. Come on. Nice, nice, nice. Better range of motion there. Pick you in. Awesome. And relax. Stop, 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 stop. Good. Up onto your feet. Quick drink. And then we're going for the other leg. Remember, we want maximum effort, high output, full range of motion. That includes on the pump. That pump rep is not a shortened range of motion, it's just faster, that's all. If you notice with me, I was still going all the way to the floor. So, get yourselves into position, other leg, 45 seconds, really super smooth reps with a 1/4 rep at the bottom and then a 20-second pump out. In 3, 2, 1, off you go. Going all the way to the floor, all the way, full stretch down, 1/4 rep, and then power back up. Keeping the chest high, keeping the shoulders back. Again, Your progression is not simply lifting more weight. It is getting better technically at every single movement you choose to do or you're instructed to do. So have the will and the determination to get that full range of motion, to make sure your form is textbook. Take a quick glance at that knee in the front if needs be to make sure it's over the middle toe. We don't want it kicking inwards. If it is, pull it out. Got about 15 seconds left on this set, and then we're going to go for our pump out. So fight for it. Come on, Saskia, rep after rep. Don't give in. That's it. All the way down, and then power back up. All the way down. Stretch, 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 stretch. In 2, 1, drop the weights. Pump out as many reps as you can. No faffing around. Good. As many reps, as many reps. Head a little bit more speed. Be aggressive with it. Be aggressive with it. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. And again, go. That's more like it. Go. Come on, Saskia, a few reps. Push it, push it, push it, push it. Speed, 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 speed. Fight. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Awesome. Awesome. Very, very good. Nice. Right, take a bit of rest time. Relax, recover, have some water. Now we're finishing it up with our little metabolic blast. So what we're going to do, abs of your choice. You can do any type of ab movement you wish. That can be a plank style movement, like so. One of my favorites for this, if you're quite good at planks, is a single arm plank. So place one hand behind your back. It's a very, very difficult plank style movement. You can also do a dynamic crunch, something like a V-sit, which is another favorite of mine, in and out like so, or any type of crunch that you know you can feel. The reason I say pick one that you enjoy is because most people have very, very different abilities with abdominal movements, and some people can feel stuff a lot better than others. So pick one that you know you can get the right muscle tension with. Then we're moving into cardio. So this can be, if you're in a gym, get yourself near a watt bike, a salt bike, a rower, battling ropes. Put yourself next to a treadmill, a cardio machine where you can do a minute blast of cardio. If you're at home, you can do jumping jacks. You can do high knees running on the spot. You can do burpees. If you have a battling rope or a big garden, you can open your door and you can do shuttle runs in your garden. I don't mind what you do, just find some intensity in it. So abs and cardio. Our 2 minutes is officially up. Last groupings of the day. Into position for your abs. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off you go. So for those of you planking, I'll talk you through the plank first. Make sure on the plank, all of your weight is pushed backwards over your heels. Backwards. Make sure your quads are locked tight. Make sure your glutes are squeezed tight. It's going to help keep your hips in line. Make sure your tummy button is pulled in and your eyes are on your thumbs or your fingers. We're not looking underneath ourselves towards the knees. If you're doing another type of dynamic ab movement, i.e. you're moving backwards and forwards, you inhale as you stretch. Exhale as you contract. Inhale, stretch, exhale, contract. 20 seconds, make sure you're maintaining tension on those planks. Make sure you're not starting to look underneath yourself. Make sure your weight is not creeping forward. You're pushing all of the weight back over the heels. Less than 10 seconds, keep going, keep going, keep going. In 3, 2, 1, stop there, nice. Okay, relax. Now, we've got 1 minute of cardio. I want this about 80% intensity, 8 out of 10. Okay, 8 out of 10 intensity on your cardio. Burpees, jumping jacks, battling ropes, sprints, bike, row, cross trainer, you name it, use it. In 3, 2, 1, off you go. So let's get our cardio. That can be high knees. Bam, bam, bam. If you're doing high knees, keep the hands fast. It can be burpees. Poof. But make sure we're doing proper burpees where we don't collapse onto the floor. We're holding our body in a plank position at the bottom. Again, have this conversation with yourself. Really, 8 out of 10. Are you pushing yourself to an adequate intensity? Pick yin again, unless you've got some serious underlying injury, walking is not cardio. Pick something that you can do with a little bit more intensity, please. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's move. Nearly there, just less than 20 seconds. Good leg speed, Kaylee, good leg speed. Nice. Almost there. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop, stop, stop. Good. All right, relax. I'm going to take about a minute's recovery now. So take some water in, get yourself prepped for your next ab movement. Now again, I'll reiterate something that most of you are going to hear from me a lot. You're going to get out what you put in. It's what you should hear from every trainer. If you choose to take it easy on yourself, your results are going to reflect that. It's as simple as that. If you choose to go hard on yourself, you're going to force your body to adapt, to try and make that hardship easier. You will grow muscle much more quickly. You will lose fat much more quickly. Generally, when I hear people, I've done this for 15, 16 years, about 15 years, people come to me and say, Elliot, I've tried everything. You've probably heard many, many people say I've tried everything. Usually, the thing that people haven't tried is a proper diet and actually training hard. So keep that in mind. Make sure you push yourself every single rep, every single set. Into your position in 3, 2, 1, abs. So on the dynamic stuff, inhale, fill your body with air. Exhale, fully breathe out, fully breathe out. Let all of the air out. If you let all of the air out, it's going to allow you to fully engage your TVA. If you're doing the plank, make sure the weight is over the heels, quads are squeezed tight, glutes are tight, tummy button's pulled in as close to the spine as you can get it, and your eyes are on your fingers or thumbs rather than looking out underneath you. Make sure you're flexing as hard as possible. I want you to try as well to think about, on the dynamic stuff, the crunches, imagine the pivot point is your belly button. The pivot point is not your hips, it's your belly button, it's above the hips. Rolling around the belly button, trying to compress the abs. If you're doing something like the Russian twist, then make sure you're leaning back far enough to maximize tension. Good, good, good. Keep going. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop there, relax. All right, now cardio. This set, 90% intensity, step it up. I want 9 out of 10 for difficulty. This means you should be questioning whether you can finish the full minute. You should be questioning whether you can finish the full minute. Halfway through, you think, I'm going to fail on this. You won't fail, but you should be thinking like you are. That's how hard it needs to be. In 3, 2, 1, cardio, go hard. So for example, if you picked jumping jacks on the last one, you probably shouldn't be picking jumping jacks on this one because it's too easy a movement. Very simple. Good, nice intensity on that ski erg. Much better, much better. That's what we want. Explosive. Remember, you get out what you put in. You are going to receive the result that you deserve. If you put 100% effort in, you're going to get the 100% of the result. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Speed with those hands when you're doing the high knees as well. Faster legs, Kaylee, faster legs. Nice. Heather, you've got more in you than that. That's definitely not 9 out of 10. Push it, push it, push it, push it. Quick legs, Helen, nearly there. 10 seconds. Go, 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 go. Move, 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 move. Push, 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 push. Maddie, really, really good intensity. Really good. In 3, 2, 1, stop there. Awesome. Very good. Catch your breath. Much nicer. That's what we want. Really, really good. Right, we're about to go in for the last set. Got about a minute's rest. You're going to do your abs. Make sure you give it everything. Last abs of the week. And then on your cardio, I want you 100% output. If you throw up, you will have my respect. If you don't, you will still have my respect. I'll just find it much more entertaining if you do. Big deep breaths now, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Try and recover your breathing during these rest periods. Good, good, good. All right. Get yourselves ready, into position. Last pair. Massive output here, massive output. Really, really, really push it as hard as you possibly can. Okay, into position. Give it some in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Abs, abs, abs. So inhale back, exhale forward. Squeeze as hard as possible. If you're doing a plank, weight back, quads tight, glutes tight, tummy button in, eyes on your fingers. Whatever you're choosing to do, make sure you're doing it with the absolute intent of getting a result out of it. Every single rep, don't waste reps. Squeeze as hard as possible. Inhale, stretch back. Squeeze as hard as possible. We're putting full body tension through those planks as well. Really good position pick in. Awesome. Textbook. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Inhale back. Remember, you're pivoting around the belly button, not at the hips. So if your hips are shifting around like this, you're probably not executing the movement correctly. Pivot around the belly button. 15 seconds. Make sure the weight's back on those planks. Body's under full tension. Don't stop. Come on, Kaylee. Inhale back, power forwards. Use ab strength, not momentum. Try not to throw those arms. In 3, 2, 1. Stop there. Okay. Now, everybody, quickly take a drink. Make sure your throat's wet. Make sure you've got no distractions on this set. This cardio now, maximum output. Absolutely everything you have. If you're on a treadmill, sprint like your life depends on it. If you're on a bike, maximum resistance you can manage to still move your legs at. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off you go. If you're doing burpees, do them with intent. Fast. High knees. Quick, 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 quick. Fast legs. Come on, effort, effort, effort. Everybody, huge amounts of effort. This is the last minute of your day. It's going to disappear quickly. So choose to put yourself through it. You want to adapt. You want to get better. You want to finish this workout with adrenaline surging through your body. That's what's carrying you through. You've started your day with something active. You've started your day with something energizing. It's going to improve your day. So push it. Remember what I said earlier, and what I say quite often, is that if you can train 5 days a week, it's because you are not training hard enough. Your recovery is too easy. You need to push it. Come on, Kaylee. Come on, Kaylee. Let's go. 20 seconds. Make sure you're too exhausted to train tomorrow. That's the position you want to put your body in. We grow and we get better. Kaylee, go when we recover. Laura, faster legs. Big sprint this last moment. Come on, pick you in. Push it, push it. Heather, fast knees. Last few seconds in 5, 4, good. 3, 2, 1. Stop there. Good. Awesome. Really, 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 really good. Very nice. So everybody take a drink now, catch your breath. Relax. We are right on the 9 o'clock mark, so if some of you do need to quickly disappear, you've got work or something similar, then by all means bounce, but do try to stretch out your legs at the very least, because we've gone hard on them this week. For everyone who can hang around, give me a few extra minutes, we'll stretch together, albeit short, it will still get you mobilized. So, as I was just saying, we do this 3 times a week on LiveUP for people who train at home. As I say, a lot of people have chosen to take it into the gym purely because of the increased amount of variation you can do in the gym. You can use many, many different machines, and rather than picking the exercise that I suggest, which is for home-based, you use similar movements. So for example, if you want to vary this type of workout, instead of a squat, the squat is obviously the primary choice, you can do a machine squat, pendulum hack. On the row movements, you can do any type of pull movement. See you later, Saskia. Any type of pull, vertical, horizontal, any type of angle, different pieces of equipment in the gym. Deadlift hip thrust, the same with the press. So think about the variation. Okay. With me, going to start your stretches. We've done some heavy squatting today. So I want to bring one foot up behind your bum. Use something to balance if needs be. Pull that foot into your bum, keep your chest up, and try to push the knee backwards towards the wall behind you. Some of you may prefer to do a kneeling quad stretch. That's absolutely fine if that's your preference. Just make sure you're feeling that tension release from even the front of the hip, for those of you who are quite tight, right down into the knee. Now when we're stretching, you don't want to try and pull yourself too hard into the stretch. You want to try and breathe through it. So allow the breathing, big deep breaths into the nose, out through the mouth, to settle the muscle down. Good, good, good. And relax, go to the other side. Same thing. Foot up in the hand. If you struggle to balance and you don't have something to hold on to, just pop your finger on your nose. That will center you. Make sure we've got those knees together. Don't kick the knee out to the side here. That's taking the stretch off. We want to keep the knees together. For those of you who have great mobility, you can squeeze your glute on that leg as well, and that will put a bit more of a stretch into the hip. Good, good, good. Excellent. Now take one foot out front. And then once it's there, push your bum backwards, stretching out that hamstring. And again, really try to stick your bum out when you do that. Don't try to roll the shoulders over towards the floor. Good, good, good. Again, big deep breaths into the nose, out through the mouth. Long, slow exhale. Beautiful. Okay, and relax there. Go to the other leg. Big deep breaths. We're trying to tilt the pelvis, so we're trying to get the bottom side of the pelvis to stick up towards the ceiling. That will put maximum stretch in the hamstring. For some of you, a little gentle sway from side to side may help you find where you're tightest in the hamstring, and that will allow you to put in the right place. If you find you're feeling the stretch in your calf, the bottom of the leg rather than the top, then press your toe down into the floor. And stop there. Relax, relax. Now, you can do this seated or standing. If your legs are wrecked, you probably want to do it seated. Bring one foot up onto the opposite knee. And then lower yourself into this movement, allowing the hip to stretch, the glute to stretch. You can do that sitting down as well if you wish. So once that leg is up on there, pick in, you lower yourself in, sit down into it. And big deep breaths. Super important that when you're doing your mobilization stuff, you are breathing properly. It's going to help you to relax much, much faster. Good, good. Relax there. Go to the other side. Foot up and then sitting into it. Let that glute open up. This again for anyone who commutes, anyone who spends a long time traveling, sitting down, or has radiating back pain. This stretch is going to be an amazing one for you, along with foam rolling your glutes with your foam roller or a tennis ball, hockey ball, or golf ball if you're really brave. Good, good. In 3, 2, 1. Stop there. Now finally, last one. Go and take your arm, press it up against a window or a door frame or a rack or something. Once you've got tension on it, turn away from it so you feel a big stretch through your chest and shoulder from all of our push-up movements. And big deep breaths on this one. So as you are turning away, you take a big deep breath in, expand the rib cage, let the rib cage grow, and then exhale, turn away from the arm a little bit more. Good, good. Now switch to the other side. Hand up, big rotation, and use your breathing to increase mobility. Don't try to force through it. Awesome. Now I'll just say a quick summary of the week's workouts for anyone who's curious. We've done full body this week. We've not really split muscle groups just to make sure everyone, number one, didn't overtrain a particular muscle group. Number two, that it was inclusive to everyone, irrelevant of the equipment you had. And number three, to ensure we had maximum metabolic output. By doing full body, you're going to burn the fat the fastest. If you do splits, you're going to miss out on some fat burn. Relax there. This can be done 3 to 4 times a week on alternating days for anyone who's curious. But for all of you who did it, very, very well done. Good effort, and have an awesome new year. Glad you enjoyed it.